Candace just called out Charlie Kirk's wife.
I don't trust her. I think she was set up to like be his wife.
Right.
And then, hey, if he turncoats, you're up. Because if you look at her, like,
because she's taking over Turning Point, right?
Within 2 weeks,
right.
You have a grieving wife, and she's on a podcast right away.
Right.
Hey, smiling. Oh yeah, I remember when we just got smoked in front of everybody, JFK style, and you're smiling.
Yeah.
She acted like she had everything planned out, and now it's blowing up online. It's not just a rumor anymore. Candace Owens has publicly criticized ERIKA Kirk, accusing her of hiding something bigger about Charlie's case. What's even more remarkable, even Charlie's parents have just released shocking evidence. Social media took off in a matter of hours.
That I'm uncomfortable with the fact that despite all of the friends that Charlie Kirk made, all the schmoozing that he did, presidents, right, department heads, I am the only person that is publicly demanding further investigation into his assassination. Why? It's totally rubbing me the wrong way. Something's not right here. Even Turning Point USA, they're just like, we've accepted. Like, obviously, there are holes in this narrative, and they're just like, we're gonna just keep up his show. What is going on, actually? I just want to say that and get it off of my chest. I don't like it. Throwing it to some of our sponsors. I tell you all the time about Preborn because I've watched them.
In the Justice For, hashtags such as ERIKA were discovered. Charlie became popular on TikTok and X. A few weeks after the event, videos of ERIKA grinning at a gala were intercut with Candace's irate monologue. No longer was the tone unclear. Candace didn't hold back. She pointed it out and made a direct inquiry. Don't mince words. Then she went on, her voice full of passion. Then she announced Charlie's parents had finally broken their silence, presenting evidence that the investigation was being rigged to protect the powerful. And Candace said flatly, ERIKA knows. The timing of all this, it was too perfect to be a coincidence. New material came out. The sponsor started whispering. And then ERIKA stepped into Charlie's shoes, as if...
Why is she diminishing it? Let's go on.
I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family.
See how matter of fact?
These past 2 days.
So matter of fact.
And I want to thank the Turning Point USA board.
The board.
The COO, Justin Strive.
The COO, the board, this is what you're thinking of? This is what's on your head?
I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show.
What is there to laugh about? I don't understand these reactions. These reactions are not congruent with what just happened. Not for a person who's in shock, not for a person who's in mourning. And I will address I know what you're thinking. I will address this later on. Let's just get through this somehow.
Who helped him broadcast from the studio,
okay, gesturing. I told you guys, right? And it's right on cue. It's like from this, it's to me repulsive. It is perverse what is happening here. So I am trying to keep it together. But this type of gesturing, looking over exactly on cue, on this, like what is that? Like, what is that? This is so using devices for all this drama, for all this...
As if it had all been prearranged. Interview 3-4. 47 everything was coordinated flawlessly. The tone shifted when people began to inquire, is this a performance or a memorial? It shifted from being about suffering and loss to truth, loyalty, and gore. Because the Lady America previously viewed as a victim may not be if Candace Owens is correct. She could be the main part of a much more nuanced narrative. Charlie Kirk's passing was more than just...
I think she was set up to like be his wife.
Right.
And then, hey, if he turncoats, you're up. Because if you look at her, like...
Because she's taking over Turning Point, right?
Within 2 weeks,
right.
You have a grieving wife, and she's on a podcast right away.
Right.
Hey, smiling. Oh yeah, I remember when we just got smoked in front of everybody, JFK style, and you're smiling.
Yeah.
So that's weird. That's number one, right? Memorial.
Just an incident. It was an earthquake of culture. He had been speaking to thousands of college students only minutes before. A few minutes afterward, the nation was overwhelmed by a sea of ambiguous headlines, manipulated videos, and incongruous timeline. What had been stated on the first day didn't seem to be supported by the video, the personalities, or the suspects. Additionally, prior to the public, in order to comprehend the true situation, ERIKA Kirk entered the spotlight. She showed up in a black outfit, her posture impeccable, her voice serene. The poise was admirable but doubtful. Immediately, the internet was split. One referred to it as strength, while the other believed it to be calculation. After a week, ERIKA was more than simply the bereaved spouse. She was Turning Point USA's new spokesperson. No press conference, no time to prepare, no vote, just bang. Her name was followed by the title CEO. The murmurs then became waves of uncertainty. Who pushed this process so quickly? Many question. Furthermore, why did Charlie's family virtually vanish from any official statements? For a movement that had previously taken pride in openness, it suddenly appeared to be a deliberately planned performance. The memorial tour swiftly evolved into a rebranding initiative, and the woman at its core appeared oddly unfazed by the uproar of public opinion. Interview 42-7. Candace Owens, however, wasn't just watching. She was watching and was ready to retaliate. Then it took place. Candace went live. She didn't hold back or mince words this time. She blew up. In a show that with over 2 million views in a single day, Candace stated that the official version of Charlie's case was a cover-up, disguised as patriotism, and accused ERIKA Kirk of branding grief. Every syllable was a challenge in her icy voice. When the loss is still fresh, no one can take the place of a man. Candace openly denounced the ERIKA was appointed CEO by the board of directors of Turning Point USA just a few days after the incident.
But I want you guys all to see the Medal of Freedom and be able to look at it in the back of it. You guys are all part of the legacy. And then on the back, it's the first and last time over the cross. I literally will stand here so all of you guys like I'm not, I don't care. Everyone can have their moment and see.
But Candace Owens, she wasn't sitting on the sidelines.
The incident. She then disclosed that Charlie's parents were not involved in important choices, such as how to plan their son's memorial ceremony. The story was no longer about melancholy after that. It concerned authority, dominance, and something the public was unaware of it. The crowd erupted. Candace was praised in the comment area for being courageous, bold, daring, and ultimately for voicing what everyone was thinking but was afraid to say. Candace challenged the official account of events during the live feed, implying that a purposefully made-up narrative was being disseminated to conceal more serious issues inside the company. Social media erupted with theories after she implied that ERIKA had concealed certain information from Charlie's own family. Like a digital firestorm, screenshots, videos, and hashtags proliferate. Candace sparked the argument rather than merely joining it, and she wasn't finished yet, as Charlie Kirk's parents arrived shortly after and shocked everyone on social media with what they disclosed. They held what were thought to be copies of Charlie's handwritten notes and intimate communications from the weeks leading up to his death in a quick but tearful interview. Chillingly, the following. "Something is wrong," one of the notes said. "What's happening inside Turning Point is no longer credible to me." The entire story was completely upended by that one sentence. The Kirks claim that when they attempted to reach ERIKA for clarification, her new team blocked them. Additionally, they asserted that Charlie's phone and laptop, despite being personal, were never given back to the family. The people realized then that this was no longer only a tragic occurrence. It had turned into a quest for the truth, in which every nuance, every word, and every quiet had the power to alter the course of events. Charlie's laptop and mobile phone were purportedly taken for examination, but they were delivered to Turning Point instead of being given back to the family, USA's communications office. Charlie's parents claim that this is what raised their suspicions. They also disclosed in the interview that just days prior to the tragedy, ERIKA had received calls from a number of significant contributors, ostensibly to discuss strategies for ensuring the organization's survival in the worst-case situation. They didn't sound angry, pain cloaked in silent mistrust, but no scathing charges. And their words were all the more powerful because of that composure. There was a frightening trend that viewers couldn't resist seeing. The widow's quick assent, the family's exclusion, and the husband's disregarded warning. When the notes and communications were released, the internet went into overdrive. No longer was the story regarded as a conspiracy theory. With everyone attempting to solve the puzzle, it had turned into a national mystery. The public's perception of ERIKA Kirk was drastically altered overnight. Interview 10:45 The woman once praised for her calm and grace was now seen as overly controlling and calculating. Videos of her smiling alongside sponsors or speaking at events were now being scrutinized frame by frame. When she famously said, "There is no linear blueprint for pain" on the cover of a high-end magazine, the public no longer felt comforted. They felt misled. Comments flooded the platforms.
Love you, ERIKA.
The woman once praised for her.
There may not be a blueprint, but there is definitely a strategy. Then internet users began to dig deeper. Interview.11/25/1147. Internet detectives uncovered a startling discovery after searching through historical records from the Turning Point board. Days prior to Charlie's memorial service, the document designating ERIKA as CEO had been written. The public was taken aback by the detail. Before her husband passed away, was she ready for the role?
Really happy only days after her husband was assassinated. That looks like smiles. That looks like laughing and happiness and joy. So many people noticed this. ERIKA was laughing right after her husband was assassinated. Now, I'm not saying she's celebrating. I'm saying it's weird.
Internet sleuths dug up old record
Role? Or was she being prepped by someone behind the scenes? In any case, it presents a challenging image. A tale of timing, strength, and strategy in which the distinction between orchestration and fate is frightfully hazy. Additionally, Candace Owens said nothing throughout the public debate. However, everyone was aware that Candace wasn't stopping while she was silent. It simply indicated that the next storm was approaching. A widely shared post on TikTok started breaking down every aspect of ERIKA Kirk. Her actions, her attire, her appearance, and speeches during gatherings. People questioned her interactions with donors by comparing her photos to past events. Was it the assurance of a leader or the actions of a long-serving authority figure? Candace Owens came up once more as ERIKA's team attempted to refocus the narrative by urging Charlie's objective to be continued and highlighting the organization's cohesion and long-term goals. She penned a succinct but impactful sentence that stoked popular sentiment. Rewriting his truth does not entail continuing his goal. Like a spark in a storm, the phrase went viral. There were hashtags everywhere, such as "Who Runs Turning Point" and "Truth for Charlie." Millions of people agreed with Candace, yet ERIKA said nothing at all. However, that quiet just intensified the sound. People started to question if there was anything she couldn't or dared not say. The story was no longer about Charlie, Candace, or ERIKA at this time. It was now a struggle for power and influence, a covert conflict among donors, the media, and the backstage crew. There were new inquiries. Now, who is in actual control of Turning Point USA? What has been the greatest advantage of Charlie's absence? Candace kept posing fresh queries. She made hints that a number of influential contributors, notably those with strong ties abroad, saw a chance to fill the power void created by Charlie's departure. Then all of a sudden, a screenshot that seemed to be an email from a significant investor started making the rounds. One sentence in particular astonished social media. ERIKA is well aware of the new course. All we need is the public's trust and compliance. The timing of the leak, in the midst of a divided public, made it appear more hazardous than the reality, even though no one knew if the email was authentic. The audience started to feel as though everything was under control. Statements, pictures, reactions, and even silences all looked to be timed according to a carefully thought-out script. Donors with whom Charlie had a falling out prior to her passing now openly commend ERIKA's leadership, joining her at fundraising events to discuss the movement's tenacity and the next generation. Interview 14-51-15-53. Many people wince at how meticulously arranged and polished the photos appear. Every picture that is presented appears to be flawless. The illumination is perfect. It's a calculated smile. The inspirational saying is spared with a sentimental hashtag, but the more closely one examines it, the more it seems too polished, too prepared.
Who, the day Charlie Kirk was murdered, I said I felt for, I still do, for her and her kids. She's grifting now. Charlie Kirk is worth tens of millions of dollars. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. And his wife is going on social media and asking people for donations and money. What is she doing? Other than grifting, what else would you call that? If you're going to get donations, why wouldn't you use it for something like, I don't know, helping the homeless, doing something about those that are mentally ill, for example? There's so much you could do with these donations and money that can help society. Instead, she's going to be using it for herself. And I say to myself, your husband was worth tens of millions of dollars. Why are you grifting and asking for money before your husband is even 6 feet underneath the ground? I find this distasteful and I find it disgusting.
The images look so carefully
too prepared, as though the whole narrative had been scripted before the event. And one thing is more obvious than ever as the public debates. This story is now about a struggle for control rather than personal suffering of the legacy of Charlie Kirk. A conflict in which the truth is kept silent regardless of the outcome. However, nothing was ultimately proven. There were just enough coincidences for the internet to blow up, but no concrete proof or conclusive findings. Everything unfolded as if everything had been meticulously planned out. The statement made by Joe Rogan on his podcast, "It feels like the truth is right in front of us, but no one is looking at it," caused millions of people to pause and examine it. Additionally, the audience, millions of listeners, completely concurred. Because if what Candace Owens and Charlie's parents said is accurate, then this isn't just a tale of a wife coming to terms with her loss. Rather, it's a movement that is being completely transformed from the inside out. The most frightening thing is not the charges, but rather the composed manner of the most powerful people. They behave as though it is appropriate for the world to remain in the dark about what actually transpired. And the consequences of this narrative aren't going away, even as the public keeps debating who is right and who is wrong. It's speeding up. Within a few weeks, what began as an online, the controversy surrounding ERIKA Kirk has become a media and political earthquake. As if in a virtual civil war, politicians, journalists, podcasters, celebrities, and analysts have all taken sides. According to one side, ERIKA is the target of widespread slander campaigns that the internet misinterprets .mob and became a representation of everything they despise. They claim that she is merely continuing her husband's legacy and attempting to maintain the movement while coping with her own suffering. However, the opposing viewpoint, spearheaded by Candace Owens, contends that this is a purposeful transfer of strength. According to Candace, ERIKA is the ideal medium through which the financial might and influencers behind Turning Point are altering the movement in their own unique manner. Every TikTok, YouTube, or X response video, tweet, and live stream turns becomes media weaponry in a fight without less about melancholy and more about story and control. Politicians who formerly applauded Charlie Kirk in public on stage now discreetly avoid bringing him up in their talks. Previously regarded as Turning Point's financial backbone, some donors started to take their expressions of support down. Many people submitted succinct responses that avoided any direct inquiries from reporters. Another wave followed, with anonymous emails that some said were from former workers of Turning Point USA, exposing the board's internal division between two factions. One that wishes to reopen the internal probe on ERIKA's safety, and another that administration and finances following Charlie's passing. Although these disclosures cannot be confirmed, they are sufficient to stoke mistrust. Reddit, Telegram, and Twitter all post summaries, internal memos, and screenshots of chats every day. According to some, it's just a ploy by the opposition to divert attention, while some think the truth is gradually coming to light. The fact that nobody can truly identify who is telling the truth is both intriguing and disturbing. Everybody appears to have a piece of the puzzle, but nobody knows enough to complete the image. ERIKA Kirk, meantime, has said nothing and has just shown up at activities that have been scheduled with a strangely composed manner. No rebuttals to Candace, no direct responses, no press interviews. She offers motivational sayings. Light always finds its way to the truth. We can't go back. We can only go forward. However, such once honorable words are now viewed from a different angle. Many believe that they are merely media messages meant to sway public opinion, rather than providing a meaningful response to the main query. What was Charlie's actual fate? This is known as the strategic silence effect by communication specialists. When a public figure decides to remain silent, allowing others to speak in their place and thereby influencing the debate's tone. However, that tactic has a price. The public's faith is being eroded. It's not that someone is lying that's frightening, said an MSNBC analyst. The problem is that everyone thinks someone is lying. Furthermore, perception is reality in the era of social media. Whether a story is real or not, it becomes the internet's version of truth when it is repeated enough. The controversy surrounding Candace Owens, ERIKA, Kirk, and Turning Point USA now extends beyond a single incident. It reflects a time when beliefs, image, and power clash on all fronts. A time when one person's silence may speak louder than a million words, and a tweet has the power to change the course of history. Was ERIKA misinterpreted in the midst of an uncontrolled suspicion wave, or was she truly at fault? It didn't seem to matter anymore at this point. The tale had escaped anyone's hands. It spread and shaped itself as the internet desired, taking on a life of its own. As if someone was trying to smuggle in bits and pieces to extend the game. New leaks, documents, emails, texts, and clips with lost time or odd modifications started to surface in waves. As more information became available, the public came to understand that this was no typical scandal. It was a complicated image of allegiance, authority, and quiet. There are three things that can distort the facts to suit the interests of the powerful. This tale has now become a representation of the information age, when it is difficult to distinguish between media and reality. Every new discovery is a bomb for the media. It has the power to ruin a person's reputation, or reveal a system based on deception and false promises. And this is the current state of affairs. Publicly, Candace Owens is calling for the full Charlie Kirk case file to be made available, unfiltered, and uncensored. Charlie's parents still insist on getting their son's personal electronics back because they think they might have the answers. Additionally, ERIKA Kirk, the focal point of the controversy, has made the decision to remain silent while sharing brief videos about faith, healing, and the force of change. She is viewed by her admirers as an example of a strong widow who carries on her husband's legacy by steering the movement through difficult times. She is, however, rewriting that movement's history in real time, according to her detractors. And as usual, every moment of this drama is being devoured by the internet. Every new image, unclear caption, and ERIKA's quiet in public turns into a possible hint. People debate, interpret, hypothesize, refute, and so forth. The tornado keeps sweeping everything away, limits between creativity and analysis. Some people think Candace Owens is using this incident as a personal campaign to enhance her reputation. The other feels that the truth has been skewed from the start, and that Candace is the only one with the courage to state what everyone fears. Then, slowly, the bigger question emerges. What if Charlie's parents are telling the truth? If the published notes, texts, and timings are accurate, ERIKA's story might no longer be one of tenacity, but rather of foreshadowed succession planning. A well-timed ascent encapsulated in the language of devotion and heritage. Perhaps real power is not in knowing the truth, but rather in influencing how others present it. With all of its complexities of feeling, inconsistencies, and uncertainties, this tale has come to represent our society. A society in which suffering is no longer considered sacrosanct, but rather may be molded, recreated, and commercialized for a greater good. A society in which remaining silent is a media control strategy rather than an indication of melancholy. In this image, ERIKA may be a crucial participant in a complex political game or a victim of cynicism. Candace has the potential to be a hero who speaks the truth or someone who inspires others. Attention for one's own benefit. And as usual, the public is enmeshed in the whirlpool of believing and incredulity. The only certainty is that everyone is observing. Millions of people's perceptions are being shaped by every tweet, video, and fresh leak, whether authentic or not. Because perception is reality in this day and age. In other respects, ERIKA may no longer be a real person, but rather a representation of poverty, loss, and powerlessness. Additionally, Charlie, the main character of the entire narrative, is gradually being forced out of his own narrative. However, this could be the true tipping point. Only those who keep asking questions will be able to uncover the truth when it is hidden beneath layers of knowledge. If you've read thus far, Consider if ERIKA Kirk is a misunderstood individual, or if she is the secret to solving this entire enigma. Candace Owens. Is she the someone who raised their voice, or just another individual vying for dominance in the realm of image and narrative? The next revelation in this story could be the last piece that alters all we thought we knew. So please share your comments below, and remember to subscribe and follow.